Hey everybody, what's going on? Mark here with a podcast intro for you. So this week's episode, the audio is a little wonky, a little echoey. Unfortunately, we forgot to put our podcast equipment away, and with our new space, we inherited 3 cats. So we believe one of the cats stepped on the knob, adjusted the volume, and we did not catch that. So I suspect the cat that did it was Vader. But that's okay. It is his house. We are guests in his home, and we should probably put our equipment away. So it's a little echoey. It's not that bad, really. I'm just OCD about these kinds of things. So if you're listening on headphones or earbuds, just drop your volume down a little bit, and it's not going to really sound too bad. So yeah, there you have it. Audio issues. Unfortunately, too, this is going to affect next week's episode. We recorded 2 episodes back-to-back because I was heading out camping with my family up there in bear country in the Adirondacks. If you want to see some photos of some gnarly bears, check me out on Insta at stores. Some bears came down, terrorized some campsites. It was a good time had by all. I'm sure we will discuss that in further episodes, as Chris and Rob have already chastised me for thinking that I'm a bear whisperer, which I don't claim to be. I just, bears show up, man. And you sit back and you let them do what they're going to do because they're fucking bears. So there you have it. Also, too, in this episode, I murdered a name. Paulo Gifridas Jr. I'm so very sorry for calling you Pablo Gifridas. It is actually Paulo Gifridas Jr. He is a artist. He recently is working on a graphic novel. It is called Bloody Perks. We talk about it in the episode. That Kickstarter campaign has launched, and the link will be in the description of this podcast. Check out that campaign. If you can contribute to it, do. We were lucky enough to get an advanced copy of the graphic novel. I got to read it, being a longtime comic book nerd, and it is fucking awesome. It is such a cool story. It has a couple cool twists in it. So if you can support that campaign, by all means, do. He also sent us some really cool artwork that we will post up on the Instas, so check that out. If you're following the Cryptonaut Podcast on Instagram, we'll post those there. So, there you have it. Cats turning knobs when we're not looking, mispronouncing names. That's just the Cryptonaut Podcast. That's what we do. That's how we roll. So, thank you all so very much. And without further ado, Christopher, cue that creepy music. Cryptonaut Podcast. I am Mark Storrs, and with me as always is...
I don't care.
Oh, Christopher coming in hot, not caring.
I don't care.
He does not care.
His apapathy is
Apparently,
what makes
that's
him
my
so
new thing.
erotically challenging.
He does not
That
care.
was from my fans.
Yeah,
apparently from my fans.
No, they love his not giving a fuck ways.
That's right. Chris don't care. And?
Wholly invested. You know what? I do care.
You do.
I care about our fans.
Oh,
I care
all right.
about you guys.
Thank you.
I care about the environment. The plight of kittens and whales. That's me.
They're different
That's
plights.
my thing.
Vastly different plights.
Yes,
But-
we definitely we live on different planes, Chris and I. Yet we commune as friends,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it so special. You're also Mark Storrs.
And you're Rob Morphy.
Yeah, that's true.
Awesome. Thanall you. I was just waiting for you to say your name. That's all.
Okay, fucking yes. Of course I'm Rob Moore.
I didn't even say mine.
You got to remember, dude, we do the intro the same all the time. And
Do we?
It bugs the fuck out of me, but we have to because this episode could be someone's very first episode they're
Oh,
listening
that's
to.
true. All
so
right.
they need to know.
You know what?
Who are they talking to?
The things I care about aside, Rob Morphy.
Thank you so very much. Patreon. Hey, patreon.com/CryptonautPodcast.
People keep signing on. God bless them.
I know. I think at some point it's going to stop. I'm like, is it going to end? And then I just get the email saying, no, this is a $1, this is a $5. And every week I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No,
wow.
yeah. One of these days, Patreon's going to send us an email like, You guys are losers. No one likes you. We're dropping you.
Yeah,
Everybody realized you guys blow. What were you thinking?
all these numbers and all this money is actually fake. You get nothing. Thank you, and then there you go. They slammed the Patreon door on us.
It fucking really delights me that people care enough about us, A, to try to support what we're doing, and B, to want to hear extra pods.
Yeah, you get extra shit if you sign up for that $5.
Awesome.
I mean, the $1 you get the shout out, but the $5 you get the bonus audio.
And
there's
how
month.
deep is it now? Like, if you just signed on now, you would have how many extra pods?
Almost 40, I think. Close
not
to
bad.
40, 30 something.
Jiminy jams.
I can't remember. So we got some shout outs to do. What do we got?
We're going to start with Chuckles 330.
Oh, what up, Chucks?
Brittany Porter.
Brittany.
Dope.
Thank you.
Noah Carmen.
Thank you so very much, Noah.
Martha.
Batman and Superman's mother.
What do you mean, Martha? Why did you say that, Rob? Martha? What does that mean? Oh my God. We're doing the completely wrong Batman, but
Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was the Bale Batman. Fuck.
yeah.
I'll wait till after the
It's
pod.
hard to do Batfleck.
After speaking of Batman for the pod, we got to show Rob the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Oh,
so
boy.
we'll talk about that
Okay.
later,
All
not right now.
Fair enough. I would like to think it might be, though I'm happy, Martha, with whomever you are, and thank you, because your uniqueness is special, and I appreciate it. Martha Plimpton of Goonies fame and Running on Empty.
Oh,
God
yeah.
bless. Or Raising Hope for more contemporary fans.
There you go.
But either way, Martha, you rock, whoever you may be.
Thank you, Martha.
Abby Cat Ciez.
Thank you, Abby. I wasn't sure how to pronounce your name. I told Rob, Rob, it's A-B-B-I. He goes, yes, Mark, that's Abby. And I was like, thank you. Thank you, Papa.
We're going to move on to Carrie Veruetta. Veruetta? Veruetta.
Was it Veruda?
Or maybe Veruda.
Oh, could be.
All right, well,
Regardless.
the deal is, and if you're brand new, you don't know it. If you're an old hand, you do. If we say it wrong, you get a repeat.
No, dude, Carrie is all over the Patreon. She's like leaving comments like every day, and it's awesome. Cause
Really?
I'm actually watching her react to our catalog. So she'll comment on stuff, and then I'm like, oh fuck, what is she talking about? And then I got to go look to see the post that she's posting on, and then remember the part in the episode that she's talking about, and it's like this awesome like trip back in memory lane. So Carrie, thank you so very much for your comments, and keep them coming. I like watching the real time reaction.
That's wicked.
It's
So
kinda
she's sort
cool.
of new to the whole thing.
Yeah, no,
and
she's totally new, and she's just on there killing it. It's awesome.
God bless you,
I'm like
Carrie.
at work checking my email. I'm like, holy shit, what is going on here? And it's dope. So thank you so very much, Carrie. We appreciate the patronage and your reaction to all of our stuff.
Indubitably.
Indeed.
We're going to move on with Nicole Cedarquist.
Thank you, Nicole.
Indeed. Kathleen Melee.
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 I like Melee.
I like Melee.
Melee.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
She's Kathleen, full battle mode.
Melee.
Fist of Flame.
I like it.
Maxwell.
Hell yeah, Maxwell. Love it.
Carlos Godoy.
Thank you so very much, Carlos.
And we're going to round it out with Leslie Dietrich.
Hell yeah, Leslie.
Thank you,
y'all.
Leslie.
Thank
you,
y'all
everyone.
so very much. We appreciate the patronage. Again, that is patreon.com/Kryptonaut Podcast. $1 is a shout out. $5 is a shout out and the bonus audio. There's an entire comment section that Carrie's taken full control of. Everyone get in there and chat and talk with her.
See, I've never been
shit.
to our
Cool.
Patreon,
It's
so
dope.
I didn't even know this
no,
existed.
it's super cool. There's people comment all the time. It's
well,
great.
I would love to know what they're saying.
Yeah, well, get in there.
Allow me to.
I've given
Give me
you-
the means.
I have sent you this information countless times.
I don't believe it.
I
See,
have.
you know what countless is? That's ad infinitum. Have you sent it to me twice?
3 times at least.
3 fucking times
three
is not
times.
countless times.
Yes, 3
A.
times.
B.
You know what?
You know, I don't
I'm
have a
gonna
B.
Send it. I'm going to send it to you again. So before we get started with this week's episode, we also have a very special shout out and a little bit of promo here. A listener of ours, Pablo DeFreitas Jr. is working on a graphic novel. It is called Bloody Perks. In the comment section or in the description of this podcast, we're going to give a link to his Kickstarter. He sent us like a super rare printed version of the graphic novel. I'm currently halfway through it, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Mark has had nothing but good things to say.
Yeah, it's fucking super cool. And also, too, he did some drawings for us. That we're
He
gonna
did.
post
The
up.
drawings are dope.
The
Yeah,
drawings are
the
super
drawings
dope.
we have seen, and they are fucking magnificent.
Yeah. So, and again, we're going to put the link to that Kickstarter in the description of this podcast. And I think he's got like a website and a couple other things like on YouTube that he's got set up. So we'll link all that. So Pablo, thank you so very much. We appreciate it. And yeah, the artwork that he sent us is just fucking awesome. It is so super cool. So yeah, thank you again. And let's get started. This week's story, we're talking about the curse of the Yovar demons.
We are.
Oh, this sounds cool. It almost sounds black metal.
It is black metal as fuck.
Awesome.
There's an album waiting right now in the wings.
Cool. Let's get started with, in the early 1960s, a young couple enjoying a ride in the English countryside bore witness to one of the most mind-bending episodes in paranormal history. When they came across a gargantuan quasi-humanoid being and the ungodly horde of hooded disciples that seemed hell-bent on annihilating all who crossed its colossal path.
Oh.
Indeed.
Nice. All right. Well, this has got some like Lover's Lane action and possibly some like Lovecraftian shit.
Oh, deeply.
Okay,
in fact, I'm going to discuss that at length.
Awesome.
Beginning now.
Excellent.
It is difficult to imagine a time that predated the astonishing exploits and sacred rites chronicled in the consecrated tomes of the Hindu, Buddhist, and Abrahamic religions. A time before Jews, Christians, and Muslims worshipped what they believed to be the one true God. A time before Indians established their complicated and sacrosanct hierarchy of deities. A time before the Norse called on Odin or the Egyptians built temples to Osiris.
Oh, we're going way back to the dark, dark old gods.
Old-timey.
Nice.
Old-timey pre-Satan, coach.
Well, some were nice. They weren't all dark.
Well, yeah,
all
some,
right.
some.
They're gonna be
Well,
happy.
you know, it's like the heroic gods would still fuck you up.
Right.
They would still completely smote you, but you could like get on their good side.
Yeah.
And the evil ones were just doing what they fucking do.
Cool.
Most of the myths surrounding our antediluvian ancestors and the divine and diabolical deities that they both worshipped and feared have been lost to the ages. But every so often, trapped within the pages of some ancient tome or unearthed in a farmer's field or half-whispered in legends that have been passed down from one generation to the next, there are hidden kernels of forbidden knowledge. Hints as to the origins of ancient gods that some say walk the earth seething with carnal desires and a rapacious appetite for destruction.
Carnal.
Carnal appetites for destruction.
That's definitely true.
It is true.
Yeah.
One such class of celestial beings are the hulking, primordial fiends known to the few who dare utter their names as the Yovar. According to best-selling Haunted Liverpool author Tom Slemen, these creatures are, and I quote, ancient demons that roam the moors called the Yovar, which are said to even predate the devil and are more evil than him.
Wait. Wait a minute.
Pre-Develian? Develian?
Yes, pre-Develian.
Pre-Develian? Is it a goblin?
Well, in all fairness, the Abrahamic religions go back, what, $6,000 maybe? I don't.
Well, math-wise, I
don't know.
So you know there were human beings, and you know that there were things they worshiped, because one of the core tenets of being a person is finding things divine, and both beatific and fucking terrifying, and storms and trees and crops that are either harvested with glory or blighted because of locusts. There's always going to be a God behind it. So you know that the worship of things that are more substantial than humanity way predates the existence of Lucifer.
Going back.
Oh, yeah, we're going to
back.
talk about this at the end, because that's a weird statement there.
Okay.
Fair enough.
You're on trial.
That's what we do. Hey, I will stand.
You're on
I stand
trial.
by my assessment.
Of
Okay.
the Yovar and their people.
Well, listen. This is Tom Sleeman, not me.
Right, that's what I'm
You're not
saying.
really on
It's
trial.
not
Don't
right.
worry.
Though I will defend him in that there obviously are deities that way predate Christianity, Judaism, and Islam.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. The author continues his report stating, occultists say the Yovar demanded human sacrifices or they would send plagues and destroy crops. Typical bullshit.
Okay, cool.
Like the gigantic, insanity-inducing elder gods, such as Cthulhu and the Olkoth,
Nice.
that were conjured into literary existence by the exquisitely warped mind of H.P. Lovecraft, during his all too short life. The Yovar are beings that exist beyond the normal parameters of everyday human existence, a demonic force that predates Christianity, Satan, and perhaps even the concept of God itself.
Wow. So they
You gotta remember, the idea of a monotheistic God is not that old. All of Hindu's pantheon predates that.
Right. All right. So
It's not as controversial as it sounds, folks.
These are pre-Jesus.
Oh, well, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, God, the idea of God predates Jesus by millennia.
We've only been around for 2,020 years.
Okay.
That's your creationist corner with Mark.
All right. First off, it's 6,000 some odd years if you're a real creationist.
Listen, Jesus,
you're a bogus creationist. You're a poser.
Yeah, he's a neo-creationist.
I'm a neo-creationist, yeah. The Earth was round, then 2,020 years ago it went flat.
And like Lovecraft's great old ones, Forbidden Sight, I won't go too far into that. Like Lovecraft's great old ones, the Yovar appear to be venerated by a small yet rabidly fanatical cult of heretical and decidedly unhinged human acolytes who worship in its titanic wake and endeavor to destroy all who encounter this proto-Mephistophelian monstrosity.
Proto-Mephistophelian?
Mephistopheles.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Fucking kudos, good sir.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you for that.
All right, so he's got people that hang with him, which I always thought was kind of weird. Like, I get, like, worshipers and shit, but, like, what do they do during the day? Do they ever sleep? What do they do?
Well, I
do
mean,
they
first
hold
off,
down jobs and worship after dark?
Think of it this way. You're perplexed by this, but think of, like, the levels of, say, our society. The American modern society is predominantly Christian.
Right.
The average Christian probably isn't that invested. Slightly more so, you go to church weekly at least.
Right.
More than that, more so. If you're even more dedicated, you become a pastor / priest / nun / whatever. So there's got to be levels. There's got to be people that are 100% consumed nonstop with the Yovar. There's got to be like, Easter Yovars, Sabbath Yovars, like, sacrificial lamb day Yovars, but they're not showing up all the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's got to
monks, like, that's a lifestyle choice.
Right.
Like, their whole thing's based around.
But every Yovarite is not necessarily, like, full on, turned on to Yovar. Like, they've got fucking jobs and Facebook accounts and they're doing their shit.
Yeah, like the Crusades. They slaughtered everyone, but then they took shits and ate food and
lived their lives.
Right, and then they're like, time to slaughter more people.
Right, cool. So maybe we can, if we have some Yovar followers on Twitter or Instagram, hit us up.
Yeah, tell us what you do to fill the time. The hours between Yovar moments.
Mark wants to know.
In the British Isles, the summer of 1962 is remembered as a cold, dry period that offered few of the comforts that the season usually brings. But for John Garnett Chaffins, what a regal name.
Yeah.
A 25-year-old man hailing from the Liverpool suburb of Houghton. Oh, to our Patreon listeners.
Shit.
That'll ring a bell.
Yeah, the fucking Houghton tooth snatcher.
Oh, my.
Oh, shit.
He had all the warmth he would ever need, for John had fallen head over heels in love with a 19-year-old woman he had met at a party in Whiston named Joanne Carlson. Young love. Doesn't matter how chilly the summer is.
Yeah.
The heart is the hearth that keeps you warm.
That's right.
The pair was instantly smitten, and their burgeoning romance faced two virtually insurmountable barricades. The first being that Joanne lived in the tiny West Yorkshire town of Holmfirth, which meant that the couple lived nearly 60 miles apart. The second being that neither one of them owned a car.
Aw, dude, bikes, man.
That's 60 miles, dude.
Trains?
That's 120 miles fucking
Planes?
for the
I don't
person
know.
riding.
Or just live together.
She's 19, he's 25. All right, they
So
could.
what? Who cares?
Listen, we're not here to...
I'm here to help love grow.
All right.
I want love to grow.
I want love to grow too. All right, can we continue now as love grows in your presence?
Jesus Christ.
Whatever. Fine.
To overcome these obstacles, to let their love grow, for Mark's sake, John wasted no time in extracting a loan from his father and using it to purchase a vehicle, a curvy VW bug-like Morris Minor, which he used to make twice-weekly pilgrimage to Holmfirth and his young paramour.
All right, so he's making it happen. You know what he's making?
His dad made it happen.
Because he wants love to grow.
He wants love to grow.
Yeah.
We all do.
Why don't you?
Well, he wants something to grow.
Oh, save it for Kryptonite After Dark. Whoa.
It's your fault.
It's my fault.
It's your fault. You made me say this.
I did, sorry.
John and Joanne's love blossomed.
Yeah.
See?
As the already cool days of the summer of 62 gave way to an even crisper autumn season, which would soon descend into one of the worst winters ever recorded in England, known colloquially as the Big Freeze.
Oh, bummer. But hey, love is still there. Love is in the air.
Indeed.
There you go.
Just months before this record-breaking cold snap, in September of 1962, John was driving Joanne home on the A635, a desolate stretch of road that runs east to west across an unwelcoming swath of blanket bog, cotton grass, and peat moss known as Saddleworth Moor. It would be at approximately 11:30 p.m. that the couple noticed that the motionless moonlit clouds had begun to swirl and churn, reminding John of the turbulent blooming forms that drops of milk create when dropped into a container of water.
So weird weather patterns. Odd.
Well, what's even more odd, I don't know like when John reported this, but milk into an aquarium of water is exactly how the looming evil clouds in Spielberg and Tobe Hooper's Poltergeist. In fact, in the
80s
optical
effects.
Exactly. In the optical effects heyday of the 80s, like Chris was saying, the way you got this rolling, ominous cloud thing, or Close Encounters of the Third Kind for that matter, in the late 70s, was by dumping milk into aquariums and then superimposing it.
Weird to know that.
So either he knew that as he was later telling the story, or he predated this technology and might be a pioneer on top of everything else.
Awesome.
So we can imagine it. Any one of us that can see in our mind's eye the clouds in Poltergeist or Close Encounters can see what they're basically seeing right now.
Racing in.
While John may have been fascinated by this unique atmospheric disturbance, Joanne wanted no part of it. As a child, she had been struck by lightning.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no shit. An experience which understandably instilled in Joanne a lifelong fear of storms.
Okay.
She held onto John's arm for dear life as she stared through the windshield with dread at the oncoming tempest. John hit the accelerator, hoping to beat the squalls, but luck was not with them that night.
Oh, no.
In spades, I might add. Within moments, a thick, milky mist oozed off the bleak moor and onto the road. Even John was struck by the fact that the surging clouds seemed to be twisting themselves into what Sleeman, the aforementioned author, referred to as strange, unnatural forms. So you've got basically weird Harryhausen clouds coming in.
Yeah, what does that mean? Yeah,
Dude, it's the oncoming. It's a coming of Cthulhu.
Were they non-Euclidean forms?
Non-Euclidean forms of Cthulhu.
It was then that Joanne emitted a choked gasp, screeching, "What's that over there?" The startled John could only shout "what" in reply as the electric systems in his Morris Minor abruptly died, leaving the vehicle and its occupants stalled in the center of the fog-blanketed road. Joanne frantically pointed to the left of the road. John strained to see, his breath almost certainly hitching as he spied a mammoth, shadow-shrouded figure lumbering across Saddleworth Moor. Sleeman, in his report on the incident, would add, "It looked vaguely human in shape, but was gigantic, about 50 feet in height perhaps, and it had a faint orange glow around its body."
50 feet's really fucking big.
That's fucking
huge.
obscene.
Like, if you can see that fucker coming. All right, well, that's concerning.
It's kaiju-like. He continued. The giant entity was leaning heavily in the direction it was walking at an angle of about 25 degrees, seemingly about to topple forwards, yet it remained upright.
So is it walking like a Skeksis?
Yeah.
Where it's got that
heavy
weird
forward
hunker
lean.
fucking, all right, strange. Cool.
Against what would seem to be better judgment, Joanne unrolled her window, and she and her beau could now hear, quote-unquote, slow, rhythmic thuds as this unfathomable fiend's thunderous footfalls impacted against the barren surface of the moor. It was then that the couple's awe transformed into sheer terror as the diabolical demigod's eyes flared up into 2 bright points of light, quote unquote, as it turned its massive skull and stared down at the immobile car, revealing its prominent, protruding bottom jaw. It sees them. The eyes flare up white. It turns its massive fuck-sucking Attack of Titan's head.
Yep.
And looks down at the car, and they're now you got to deal with that.
It's like when the T-Rex spots you in Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It knows you're there now.
Yeah, exactly.
Just when it must have seemed as if John and Joanne were about to succumb to the unthinkable horror of the moment, the pair suddenly noticed yet another impossibly huge silhouette moving toward them through the swirling miasma roughly 1,500 feet away. That's right, more than one. Joanne shrieked in terror while John desperately attempted to reignite the engine of the Morris Minor. The motor roared to life, just as the hulking humanoid to their left strode over the road directly in front of them with one enormous step, heading toward its counterpart in what must have seemed like a scene culled directly from a classic Toho production. So the car's dead.
Yeah, no, it really is.
It roars to life.
Sees the other
then,
one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then the giant foot over
Comes
the
down.
road,
All
and
right,
you're like,
weird.
fuck. Super fucked.
Size is kind of on your side, though, because they're so large and you're so small, you can kind of scamper away, hopefully.
Not when it's looking at you.
Well, no.
It
when
knows
you
you're
have
there
to-
and your car is dead and you're on the fucking barren plains of
Right.
Saddlewood Moor.
In the moor, yeah. All right. Okay.
No, there's no
we'll
getting away.
We'll see. They might be able to.
Whether these elephantine entities met each other as friends or foes remains unrecorded, as John wasted no time in throwing his car into reverse and speeding backwards through the dense mist in an effort to escape the lumbering giants. John managed to turn the vehicle around and began racing back toward Houghton when he and Joanne were destined to have yet another unpleasant surprise. As John's vehicle barreled through the mist, the drifting vapor parted to reveal a group of about 12 man-sized figures clad in hooded black monastic robes obstructing the road and their escape route.
Oh, no. The summoners.
Yep. Oh, it's just like a horror film at this point. Well, it already is.
Yeah.
Like the super giant and then the silhouette in the distance. But you turn around and you're like, maybe we can't escape. These things can probably run faster than a fucking Morris Minor can drive, whatever the top speed of that fucker is.
But these are man-sized.
These are man-sized and blocking your road.
Easier to handle, though.
Yeah,
Much easier.
Yeah, easier to handle, but it's just like the nightmare never ends.
Yeah, no, it continues, but now you can deal with it properly.
John slowed. That was his reaction.
Okay, good.
Laying on the horn and flashing his headlights, but the men continued to impede his progress. In no mood to linger in the evidently monster-infested Saddleworth Moor for so much as another moment, John attempted to intimidate the human barricade by revving his engine and shooting forward, hitting the brakes approximately 12 feet in front of the hooded roadblock. No one moved a muscle. So you're trying to be a badass. You got your car. Granted, it looks like a VW Bug, but you still got your car.
Whatever,
You're
you can still... You can still vehicular...
I'm gonna hit ya.
You can still vehicular
Get out of the way.
manslaughter somebody with it.
you sure can.
Yeah, you can do a whole bunch of
Yeah,
people.
like tiny bullets kill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's science.
It was the 60s.
What a tiny bullets kill. Great name for a band.
Yeah,
Tiny
no.
bullets kill.
Like if it's a child metal band, maybe.
That'd be sweet.
Then, without warning, one of the dark monks sprinted forward. John shouted for Joanne to roll up her window. That's how I know this is a true story. Anything else, you could be like, it's bullshit. That one moment, like, roll it up, Joanne! Stop fucking around!
Yeah.
Like, that'll protect you, but that's awesome. So, he shouted for her to roll up the window as the wild-eyed young man with a thin nose and wide-set eyes came up to the driver's side window and demanded, in a distinct Scottish accent, that John open the door. He refused, revving his engine in response. Again, that's the young man's response.
But the guy has
Get out!
Take that.
I'm going to only respond to you in engine revs.
It's the mid-'60s. It was a language.
For no. Nice.
Not to be deterred, the sinister Scott removed a dagger from within his robe, flipped it around, and lifted it above his head as if he were going to smash the glass with the butt of his knife. John had no intention of letting him finish the maneuver, and he immediately slammed his foot down on the accelerator, driving directly into the queue of monks who promptly dove for cover.
We'll see.
They got the fuck out of the way. Yeah. So you're right.
See?
Tiny cars kill too.
Tiny cars kill too, and so do tiny bullets.
John and Joanne escaped with their lives. So that's it. Did you do it? I'm kidding.
No, everyone's safe. Monsters, Scots with daggers, whatever.
Escaped with their lives and somehow learned to live with the incomprehensible memories of what they had witnessed in 1962 on those godforsaken, fog-choked moors. But their brush with the unknown was not yet concluded. Not long after their incredible experience, John and Joanne were married. Just a few years later, John opened a newspaper and was confronted with a face that had undoubtedly haunted his nightmares. The caption below the photo read, Ian Brady, but John recognized him as the man who had nearly shattered his window during the most terrifying night of his life. The article went on to report that lifelong criminal Brady, along with girlfriend Myra Hindley, was one of the notorious Moors murderers.
For any of our true crime folks out there, this is a pretty famous case, actually.
It's a horrible case.
It's fucking terrible. It's god awful. But I just saw their names and you.
So you knew it already.
Yeah. And again, my wife is still deep into the true crime, and now she thinks everybody is trying to kill her. So
you didn't do her any favors.
Yeah, moral of the story is stop
podcast.
looking at true crime.
Yeah, but we can now celebrate last podcast and left together, so I enjoy that. I do. So,
So there's perks to anything,
totally.
basically. Yeah.
Totally. But, yep, she's terrified.
God bless
But she
her.
also laughs. So that's good.
She also laughs. What, is that going to be the story of your life with Nicole? She also laughs.
She also laughs.
My life and love with Nicole Stores.
Oh, my aunt.
But, yeah, if you look into this case, it's fucking horrific. So continue.
Ian Brady, who was obsessed with Nazi atrocities and other arcane subjects, had, according to Hindley, initiated the brutal slayings and sexual assault of at least 5 children, 3 of whom were found buried in the peat of Saddleworth Moor. So they're out there all the time using it as a barren place to dispose of the dead.
They use it as just
and
a
it's
fucking graveyard, and they're terrible people.
The judge who convicted them described Brady and Hindley as 2 sadistic killers of the utmost depravity. John almost certainly could not help but to wonder if the sinister duo might have been part of a larger occult cabal. Is it possible, and I'm asking this myself, completely independent of Sleeman or anybody else, is it possible that the atrocious crimes perpetrated by the duo were not simply what the clinically diagnosed psychopathic Bradley claimed were, and I quote, merely an existential exercise of just over a year, which was concluded in December of 1964? What a horrible way to describe the horrible deaths of 5 children.
Yeah, it's fucking god-awful.
But actually part of some arcane ritual designed to raise the immense beings known as the Yovar. Regardless of the motivations behind those heinous murders, one evening in November of 1970, after what one can only assume was years of avoiding the locale, John and his bride once again found themselves traveling the A635 through Saddleworth Moor en route to visit Joanne's parents.
They went back.
I know.
You don't do that, man.
I can't imagine why.
No.
I mean, even if it's the only road,
fuck it.
Rent a helicopter. Figure out another method.
Super catapult.
Yep. Drive all the way around.
Hang glide.
Strap in, Joanne. We're going to catapult our way there. I hope the landing goes easy, because it probably won't.
Well, you have to parachute. If you're going to catapult, you have to parachute.
You know what? You're right. I'm dumb. I was just going to try to figure the landing out.
How?
I don't know, man. Fucking slow down.
I mean, it's dumb that we're even discussing this. Here I'm getting pissed that you're trying to fucking just negotiate a landing on a catapult. No one travels by catapult.
Dude, everything.
Chris was joking.
People do. Stop.
But never.
They have
well, maybe some people like flung over the wall, and their hope was to stab one person before they died on landing.
Okay.
Unless they were themselves set on fire and they were the weapon.
You're fine. You're good. Just do one of these.
You fly. You fly with your arms.
Exactly.
That's
That
what
was
Mark
the
did.
worst
He fucking
thing
flew
I've
his
ever
arms.
seen.
And he was pushing up, which would not even help.
Yeah, I
His
know.
arms were wings.
Much like Mortis, you fly on the wings of sweet, weird synth pop.
Okay, that's fair.
There you go. Boom.
We all fly on the wings of synth pop.
There it is.
That's fair. Utmost depravity. All right. So, the only change as they drove, not catapulted, the only change besides the time elapsed was the fact that John had upgraded his vehicle to a Morris Minor Traveler.
No, nice.
You know, the sexy sports edition.
Yeah.
At about midnight, nearly 8 years and 2 months to the day after their first run-in with the gargantuan gargoyles and their unholy devotees, John and Joanne looked outside to see, once again, the malignant clouds and spiraling fog that signified the coming of the evil entities.
Why would you fucking go back?
I know.
No, Mark, shut the fuck up. I'm playing the role of Peyton this week.
All right, fine.
Shut the
fine.
fuck up.
All right, what happens?
I figured out, if you were assuming you made a connection with these people, maybe like, oh, they were the hoods, they did the thing, and that was taken care of, why would you assume once they were gone that these things would come back?
Would you go back?
I would not go back.
I would not go back.
I would never travel that route again. Well, because you saw two giant monsters.
Yeah.
And
So
just
what?
because two, perhaps, maybe just one of the
You gotta
hooded
test it
people-
again.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
What we
You
don't know.
literally don't have to test it again.
Yes, you do.
Why?
Where's Peyton to
Why
be a
not?
tiebreaker?
She would definitely say you never go that way again.
Exactly.
She'd probably
You
move
gotta
out
go
of the
that way
country.
again.
I agree, man. You find a different
Yeah.
route. You
What
don't,
if there's not a different route?
then you don't visit your parents anymore.
No,
or
you
you
can't.
find a way
way to go,
move
family,
to you.
family man, bitches.
Wow.
Way to go.
Wow.
Wow, you guys are
There's
great.
got to be another way to get there.
I mean, they might have traveled it 100 times since then. They might have finally had the courage to go back and do it again in
man.
'66.
Yeah, but why
and
not?
gone back
8
and
years
forth.
later, and they're the only people that get the clouds, like nobody else did.
Okay, I was
in
thinking
8
that.
fucking years.
I was thinking that.
We don't know that,
Okay,
for
well,
one
you know what?
thing.
Let's continue.
How
and
could there
let's
There
not
might
see.
be more than one
But do
people
they
that have
live
seen
to
it.
tell the tale?
Do they live to tell the tale? Do they have the courage to come forward with said tale, if indeed they do live to tell it?
Yeah. Or do these giant old gods
Madonna.
eat everybody
Except these people.
except for these people?
They're just jerks.
If I live to
It's-
tell
that's
the
what-
demons I have no. Okay. They will burn inside of me.
Oh no!
All right. Okay. So they're there. They got the Morris Traveler.
Fucking clouds.
They see the
Clouds.
malignant clouds, the evil
right.
entities.
It's happening again.
And true to form,
Oh,
the couple spied two silhouetted bipedal behemoths lumbering in the distance.
You know what? You asked for
Not
it.
one.
You fucking asked for
Two.
it. Yeah, the same two that were there before.
I hope they waited
You don't
to see
know
if
that.
they fought, hugged, or fucked.
You don't know
because
that.
that's
Oh.
when Yovar meet. It's
Yeah.
got to be one of the three. There can be only one. You're my bro.
You're gonna
my,
fight?
You're my lady. Let's hug it out. Let's be friends. We're
Fight
Yovars.
Fight or fuck.
Or we're gonna just fuck our brains out and destroy the peat moss
Oh,
base
weird
of this
Yovar
barren moor.
sucks. Just giant behemoth Yovar sucks.
Oh, it's got to be brutal.
Oh, it's just wet.
It's got to be. You know what?
Just wet and
Chasm
mossy.
creating.
Yeah, wet and moss everywhere. Just getting rained on. You're like, oh god, it's.
Do you know how
skeeting.
many times you just said wet and moss?
Yeah, it's just skeeting all over me. Stop! Oh no!
Oh, peep, peep, peep. Skeet, skeet, skeet. Okay.
Hey,
Excellent
you're
little-
disgusting, and let's
excellent
move
Little
on.
John reference, by the way.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Archival.
Does Yovar have a WAP? Is there a possible WAP in there?
Why not? I mean, that's how I want all my demons
To
equipped.
spend my jam all week long. I don't care. I'm
Can
jamming
we
it.
move on?
We can. Fine.
We are so contemporaneous for old men.
There you go. All right. So what happens now?
Neither what was said or thought by the pair was recorded for posterity.
Oh, man.
Though one can easily imagine. What is known, however, is that John sped away from the scene post-haste, and that presumably, this time, neither he nor his wife ever returned to Saddleworth Moor, a place about which Slemon concluded given the tragic history of the Moors in the area, the ancient legends of a class of unimaginably evil demons have a chilling ring to them. Indeed, it does. Thus ends what we know, what little we know, because honestly, there's not a lot of information out there.
No.
Of the Yovar
Seemingly
demon,
no.
the ancient Lovecraftian class of quasi-celestial, super crop blighting fuck-alls that predate all organized religion.
Would they technically
allegedly
be like a lower class, though?
I don't know.
Because they're not like cosmic beings.
No, you're right. They're not like full on reality. I mean, and obviously when they saw them, they didn't go full on shitbugs crazy.
Right, but
that's Lovecraftian, not necessarily true.
That is fiction, though. We have to keep in mind as cool as Cthulhu is.
I know. You know what's funny?
Fiction.
I think all of us can agree. We all know H.P. Lovecraft wrote fiction. We all know Cthulhu isn't real. Yet somehow that wants to insinuate itself into genuine paranormal lore more than any other fictional creations ever, I think.
I had to explain to my son that Cthulhu wasn't real.
Yeah, that's not like
because of all the pop culture
deity.
references. He was like, "Oh, was it a dinosaur?" And I'm like, "No, it's actually an unimaginable old god that if you even see it, you'll go blind and
but like
fucking nuts."
Incredible Octoman,
a lot of saving throws.
Utterly describable
a lot of saving throws,
as a tentacle fucking bearing super monstrosity with wings.
But it's literally cosmic.
Yes, but not real.
Exactly.
100% like not based on anything real. So
there are folks that I may have met and hung out with at one point that will argue that in fact Lovecraft was writing, he was disguising the truth in fiction, much like Tom DeLonge.
Of course, there's going to be.
Right.
So I mean, if you want to take that route, I guess.
But you have to really work hard to make that be the reality.
Yeah, you do, because Lovecraft.
Because there are no ancient traditions that support it.
No, there are.
That's
none.
a full 20th century fucking phenomenon.
I'm on board. I just think that these people were bored and needed to have fucking.
But that having been said, and this is something Chris and I promised to talk about at the end, so let's do it. There are obviously ancient deities that predate the Abrahamic religions, which are, of course, Judaism, like Islam, and Christianity. Yeah, Sumerian stuff.
Right.
Pre-Sumerian stuff. Göbekli Tepe type shit. Oh. Things that go back to, well, we obviously can't know true prehistory because there is no archival evidence.
Yeah.
But I think we can logically assume that because all of the religions we know were based on something, that there are definitely human belief systems about things both divine and diabolical that predate Hinduism, that predate Zoroastrianism. I can never say it right. Zoroastrianism. Whatever. That certainly predate Sumerian and Babylonian ideas.
Right.
So it just makes sense to assume that there was. But even going back as far as we do know to like Druidic stuff and things that were megalithic, the peoples all throughout, Europe and the rest of the world that erected impossibly huge stone monuments in ways we can't fathom, and which fucking, Tsoukalos wants to say is always aliens, but might be something equally awesome and paranormal and not extraterrestrial based, or just superhuman ingenuity. Who knows?
Could be a bunch of Yovars.
Desert Yovar.
Desert Yovars.
Yeah, there you go.
There are old gods, non-Lovecraftian old gods, and apparently, though again, there is not a lot of information online and no information I've ever encountered in print form before. But according to Sleman, and apparently Sleeman, I'm sorry, I'm saying your name wrong, and his interview with occultists and paranormalists in accruing his information for his Haunted Liverpool series of books, which apparently are very popular.
Nice.
He encountered information about the Yovar and other ancient deities. And I'm fascinated because, A, you never see kaiju-like things. Like, that's just not fucking reported.
Not usually. The best you get is like some giants.
Yes.
Like
maybe like 30-foot tall, maybe some cyclopses.
Not kaiju.
Yeah, like the giants from like Afghanistan that apparently some American soldiers had run into and had a thing. But you don't get official kaiju.
Yeah, if you get something that's like 20, 25 feet tall, you're like, the fuck they did.
Yeah.
But 50 feet plus with a shimmer orange, vaguely humanoid, a deep front lean, and the ability to recognize what's around. So here's another thing too. Like, one of my first thoughts is this something maybe from another plane of existence, another dimension? I know I always struggle with the right words for that, but another Earth that you just, for some reason, because, Saddlewood Moor is just one of those thinly veiled places you get to glimpse. But it's more than that. It has to be, assuming it's real,
right?
Because it saw the car. Its eyes lit up. It turns. It looks. It acknowledges. Joanne and John.
Sort of like The Mist, kind of, right?
Well, I'm not even. Well, maybe, yes, it is analogous to The Mist. But what I'm saying is, it's not just them getting a glimpse into another existence.
But it's
it
seeing
is
them
somehow there, at least temporarily.
Yeah. Okay.
And that I find both fascinating
so
and horrifying.
So a temporal window into a Cthulhian type world? Ooh.
Where there can be interaction.
Euclidean type world.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure you know even what Euclidean means. All right. So, come on.
He just likes the word.
I like the word, too.
Yeah. I like the word. Roll your saving throw. Don't go insane from the
Oh,
Cthulhu.
my God.
It's small chance.
So I think that the idea that there might be a bridge between two different realities, because obviously there's not 50-foot fuck-alls wandering the moors on a semi-regular basis. That's just not what's happening.
No.
It doesn't seem likely.
So if it is a manifestly real, and even quasi-corporeal thing, then it would have to be intermittent, maybe presaged by this atmospheric anomaly that seems to occur, and maybe even brought on by its hooded acolytes and or Joanne or John or the combination thereof. Maybe there's something about them that
brings it out.
Who knows?
Well, there's more in common. They were there both times, but the hooded people weren't.
Yeah, the hooded people were
Ergo,
there once.
We don't know that the hooded people weren't,
but
just because they weren't roadblocking.
Maybe they're hiding.
But, right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, according to this fucking
What
thing
we
right
know.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chris is right.
He is.
So let's talk theories. If we want to go full skeptical, it's a bullshit story.
Drugs.
It's a big fat fucking lie.
Yeah, I mean,
They were high twice in 62 and 68.
Sixties.
Oh,
It was Skeksis.
yeah, weed, drugs, and dope. Yeah, I guess if it's a lie, it's a lie. If it's not a lie, though, the first time meeting the hooded figures, and one of them possibly being a terrible fucking serial killer,
Which adds a weird
It's
gravitas to
a
the whole
weird
thing.
tie-in.
that is a weird,
that he
super
recognizes.
weird tie-in.
Like when I read the story, and by the way, I should give full credit where it's due. I'm sorry I didn't do it earlier, but it was Matt Drew that turned me onto the story.
Oh,
So
totally.
thank
What
you,
up,
Matt.
Matt? Oh,
That's all.
Matt recently sent us stickers from,
Yes, he
from
did.
fucking Beast Rack.
Oh my God, we're giving late pod shouts.
Late pod shout out to Matt Drew.
Yeah,
and
those
Beast
stickers
Rack.
are fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
pretty
those
cool.
stickers are dope.
We'll put a link there or something.
Yeah, totally.
But
Yeah,
but the
we've shared
stickers
them
were
on Instas,
awesome,
yeah.
and Matt as always sends us great stories. So I was not familiar with the Yovar at all until
Nice.
then.
Thank you, Matt.
So thank you, Matt, and sorry about the fucking delay. But that having been said, if there's any truth to this at all, that means that there are times when in these isolated pockets of Earth, things that are unfathomable, maybe not unfathomable in the sense that we can see humanoid orange glowing things and deal with it, but things that really should not be able to exist here can become manifest. And how can that be? Is this arcane? Is this magic? I mean, the hooded, I would almost say if they just saw these things, maybe it's a glimpse, maybe it's a window, maybe it's some quantum physics thing that allows the veil to thin for a minute and they can see us and we can see them and that's over. But the fucking monks, one of whom might be
A serial killer.
notoriously horrible serial killer.
That's a weird twist in the story.
Yeah.
Then fucking, are they really calling these? Is it possible to somehow invoke the worst?
I mean, I don't know enough about ceremonial
None of us
sacrificial
really
magic.
do.
I don't know. I mean, I do chaos magic. I used to do chaos magic, and then I got scared. So
We
I
all
didn't
do.
Get I didn't get that deep into like conjuring shit. But I mean, I guess we'd have to ask. We have actually plenty of like listeners that are into the occult. A couple of witches, as a matter of fact, that could give us a hand with this.
It would
I
be
guess it's
fun to talk to a
possible.
conjurer to know.
I mean, I don't see why it's not.
But something
there was
this
recently.
big.
Well-
it was a couple weeks back. There was a bunch of witches that were trying to hex the moon on TikTok or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they wanted to hex the
What do
moon.
they call
Did
them?
it work?
Baby witches or
Baby
something?
witches, yeah, I don't know.
Like other
but-
witches were condescending to them
Yeah,
because
it's a whole like TikTok witch thing.
did the
and
moon
I
go
mean,
away? Did I not know?
I don't know.
See,
I
that's
don't
what-
look
that's
up
what
at the
I'm
moon like
saying.
habitually.
I feel
I
like-
mean, maybe they listen to the pod. They're like, Mark's right. It's the alleged moon. Fuck it. We don't need
It's
it.
that's
It's
why
just-
it didn't work because it's not
it's-
really there.
Ah,
Yeah, you're right.
gotcha.
You can't
know what?
hex what doesn't exist.
Gotcha, boys.
Fuck you, dude.
Anyhow,
Fuck you so
It
much.
is coincidental that there would be just a group of hooded people there at the same time.
Yeah, come across that.
I'm like, really, the cult just happened to show up at the same time as
unless it's like a fraternity or something doing
or
something
unless
dumb,
it's something
but...
that comes with them.
You know what though? To take a moment of Chris here, what if it's two separate things? What if they just happen to be getting down the road and then there's a weird some weird shitty cult that's like, oh yeah, fucking we're gonna kill whatever, that dude's a part of it, the killer there, and they just happen to be down the road, but the Yovar are on the other side and they don't really, the cult people don't even know that the fucking Yovar are there.
So
that would be
two separate things.
If it is tied to the drivers, that's a wicked coincidence.
Yeah, it is.
Wicked coincidence. Unless it's tied to the drivers and they just happened to they were at the same spot at the same time.
She was struck by lightning.
Oh my God. You say it profoundly.
Nothing really?
No, I was thinking about it. I was trying to formulate a fucking theory.
Wait, Powder was also struck by lightning.
Oh God. Don't go there.
He did, but he went into the lightning at the end.
Please do not.
We can't bring up Powder.
But here's the thing. Maybe to go down Mark's dirty road.
Oh, what do you got?
Maybe something opened up in her perceptions in the way the brain chemistry works. The lightning strike might have allowed her to use parts of the brain that normally human beings can't access, and one of these might be the invocation
of Yovar,
of this crazed legendary set of beings that used to curse humanity and for some reason were banished, probably by a wizard or a sorceress
or the
I don't know.
The Christ.
Or the Christ.
The Christ.
There's a lot of extraterrestrial faction. I don't know who banished the Yovar, but Joanne, through no fault of her own, and because she was a victim of such a weird circumstance, some environmental lightning strike that she never wanted to happen, she now has called them back, and the Saddlewood Plains are forever fucking plains. Like it's the Old West. The old Sagewood Plains.
But why just on this road?
Yeah, why is it on this road?
It's not necessarily just on this road. This just happens to be a road that crosses this vast moor.
Right, the moors.
No, I mean, if she can do that, why just on this road?
Well, if she can do that, and she is really the source, that's the only road you can... Well, I don't know if it's the only road, but it is the road they happen to be traveling on. So it would make sense that they would be near the road because it's her doing it.
What is it? Was like ley lines or something? Remember, there's a whole theory of ley lines where like the
energy grids and whatnot,
fucking magnetic whatever.
It sounds like you're poo-pooing that.
No,
that seems to be a lot more legit than some of the things you embrace, sir.
Listen,
moon denier.
And it didn't work because the witches couldn't hex because it wasn't there. They tried to.
Oh God, no! I'm not going back there.
So anyway, we're going there. The cult is kind of weird though, but The thing too though was with seeing that guy.
Seems too coincidental not to be involved.
Serial killer though, yes, he did kill children and do horrible shit to them and leave them and then bury their bodies in the moor. But you don't really know if that was the dude. You know?
Oh, we don't know for sure.
100%. It could just be some of the sort of like looks like him.
Yes.
But let's just say that it is the dude.
Okay.
And he's hanging out with the cult.
Okay.
If they are worshiping and conjuring these things, to what end? To bring about what? What are they bringing about when they do this?
Well, the end of humanity. The end of, I don't know, the fucking Moors.
If he wasn't some weird,
well, they failed clearly because we're here and it's over.
Yeah, actually.
Could it be more practical?
The good guys won.
No, here's something weird. Could they just be known for eating humans and the dead, and they're invoking weird things, hoping to get rid of the evidence of their heinous crimes? Didn't work. Oh. Well, 3 of the bodies at least were on Earth, not all of them.
Right.
Again, you're asking me to get into the mind of serial killers. Right. I couldn't understand their motivations for doing the horrible shit they did, much less why they would want to invoke a super demon.
I'm just curious when you're invoking the super demon, like if you're if you're a follower of Cthulhu, like to what end? Like what's the deal?
Because
you just want to bring about the end, you gain nothing.
Dude, a lot of people.
If the Yovar show up, you don't get pizza and blowjobs.
You're right.
How do you know?
It doesn't happen. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, you don't know Yovarian fucking mythology.
Don't claim to know.
Just say you don't.
All right, but presupposing
you don't get extra XP in Call of Duty,
you're not getting any of the great perks of fucking that shit.
You're a bad analogy.
What is the point of being an anarchist? We're again the pizza / blowjob quotient of that. It's not existent.
Don't forget
Sometimes
Call of Duty XP.
People want chaos.
Yeah,
Some
that's the deal.
people want to sow
like
destruction.
the Joker theory. Some people just want to see the world burn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't always need motivation for mass destruction.
Right.
You're not always seeking a loftier or even any goal. You're
Okay,
just
I'm not-
looking to do
I
it.
don't even know why I went down that road, but I just wanted to go down it.
Right on.
We did it. Thank
So
you.
I don't know why Yovars exist.
Okay.
Why
so,
people would call
Christopher,
them into being.
Do you think that we're dealing with some cult conjuring Yovars, or is this just some weird happenstance that happens, like some interdimensional thing? What do you think?
Hard to say, Dad.
Okay. I thought you were going to say hard no on all of it.
No,
That's a
I'm trying
lie.
to go by what the story has given us.
Okay. All right.
Which either it seems highly coincidental, like we said, that these
Right.
100 people were there at the same time as this fucking event was going on.
Right.
And then they weren't
is
there the
weird.
second time, but the car was. So by those two things, it would seem more likely it's connected to somebody in the car.
Yeah.
One, if not both of those people.
But again, though
Just
I
by the story.
agree with Chris, they're the only people that reported it. So it doesn't mean it's the only time these things show up. It just
No,
means they're the only
right.
times we know about. But
I'm
you're
just
right.
going. We're talking about the story
Strictly in
specifically.
and then again, Tom Sleman. I think I'm saying the name right this time. I know he's a best-selling author. I know he rated. Yeah, that's it. Master of
He
words.
rated.
He rated
With
the
his
Haunted
helicopter?
Liverpool series, and I know they were well received. But we don't have access to his eyewitnesses. I haven't found a single other reference to the Yovar. So if we're going to take, for a second, with all respect to him and his writing, if we're going to remove the Yovar out of it,
Right.
and it's just a young couple and then a slightly older young couple seeing giant things and fucking, like, if you take out the mythology that again is very difficult to track down, and we remove the idea that the ancient people of the Britons, felt they caused blight and whatever, I would think to myself, what is it these misty, aura having, self-illuminated eyed, heavy forward leaning humanoids, why would they be there? They seem to be gravitating towards one another.
Right.
Though for what purpose, we don't know. If it was an epic battle, well, it's in the middle of fucking nowhere, and they're only 50 feet high. 50 feet high is tremendous, but it's not monumental if you're that far removed from civilization. So they could tussle, and maybe no one would
But
know.
other people would definitely see him, though.
You would hope.
50 is huge.
You'd imagine.
It's huge.
It's big,
But
it's not huge. It's not truly like Toho Kaiju
I would
huge.
think so that there would be other.
It's not 450 feet, 500 feet.
But there would be other reports of these things.
You'd imagine.
There should be. Huh.
But,
Okay.
a lot of people would see this and be like, Betsy, we're not telling anyone. But Ralph, we saw Betsy. It's 65. I'm your husband.
We tell
You're going to
no
keep
one.
your trap shut. But Ralph, we saw. Shut the fuck up, Betsy.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't advocate for Ralph. Ralph was wrong in this.
He's an
Betsy
asshole.
was right.
That's what
He's
he
a
is.
prick.
He's a fucking
And Betsy
asshole.
left
Rat
him
bastard.
for a masseuse and lived a very happy life in Tampa. I just want to make sure everyone knows
Oh,
that.
good.
She's getting that.
Yeah.
She's getting that Tampa masseuse dick. Is that what she was
Because
getting?
fuck Ralph and his
no.
Yeah,
fucking truth obscuring ways. But my point is, we don't know if other people saw it and did not report
No,
it.
it's. I just find the odds of that in 50 years.
You would
You're right.
think, yeah,
Giant
I
things
mean,
are weird because giant things don't. It has to be paranormal.
It has to be, yeah. And I guess
If it's real, it has to, because it's not extraterrestrial. I mean, it could be.
No,
But then
no.
if that ship lands and it has 50-foot fucking occupants, you'd see it.
What if it's not really? What if it's just making you think that it's big?
Project. Oh, something that's.
You guys, come on now.
All right, no, bring it home.
No, it's not. I'm
Oh,
just throwing it out there.
It is your theory. You can't have a theory and deny it's your fucking theory.
This is your guys' more
Oh,
bad than
no,
mine.
no,
You
you're
had
as
it.
much a part of this podcast as
No,
us.
your guys' shenanigans have seeped into my
see, we're
logical
turning-
brain.
we're
No,
it
tell-
could, it could very easily be and something that makes your brain think it's huge.
Oh, so it's a brain parasite,
No,
and
well,
you
no,
never really
it-
saw
it
it.
Not just a brain parasite, but
Or
any-
is it a projection?
any-
I'm asking Chris to elaborate.
it's giving
I
you a
can't elaborate because
projection.
I just thought of it right now, so
Is
I
it
have no
a
theories.
hologram
I'm just
or
gonna
a
throw.
fuck-sucking
No.
brain amoeba
Could be.
from Mars?
Could be.
It's a projection.
It could be. Shit, who
I mean,
knows?
there you go. It could be a projection. Although Chris's take on it, though, saying that maybe this is something the occupants in the car, I'm going to go with because no one has ever reported these things. At least that we know of.
Well, somebody did. the guy.
The two people, yeah, exactly.
Well, no, but somebody told this dude,
Right.
Tom, who was investigating the couple's experiences.
Right.
They said, oh, yeah, the Moors were riddled with the Yovar at one point, and they demanded sacrifice or fuck your corn or
Shit, so are
barley
we
or
dealing
whatever.
with weird old deities? But they're not really deities. They're just fucking giants.
Yeah.
Or it
They're
could be
not
an
technically gods.
an ancient species that manifests intermittently. Maybe they're not like linearly enslaved like we are. Maybe they
Right.
can just show up at intermittent times and be like, we need food, give us a sacrifice, or we'll fucking smote your fucking fields.
Okay.
And then they go, and that they're just as corporeal and just as indigenous to Earth as we are, but they just show up so infrequently it doesn't matter.
Like interdimensional quasi demigods.
Not even interdimensional, totally in our dimension, but
Oh, it's like the Jeepers Creepers.
But like, well, no, not
Oh,
even.
yeah.
No, I'm not even talking about like
They-
hibernating for long periods,
Right.
like a locust. I mean, like they're walking down the street, and then what would be like a split second for us while we blink turns into a 70-year, 120-year absence. But for them, it's just completely continuity, straightforward. But for the human race, it's like, these guys haven't shown up in 700 years.
But they were like 8 years apart that they were seen, right? By the two people.
Or 8.
I don't know.
Don't hold me to this, dude.
know.
I don't know how fucking Yovar
right.
work. I'm just
All
saying
right.
I'm interested in the idea of non-linear corporeal species that can show up intermittently and do their shit.
Yeah.
Why? Because A, I've never heard of it, and B, it's fucking pretty awesome.
I mean, I'm there.
Sure.
I guess we will have to figure out a way to work in the cult because we don't know what's up with
Yeah.
that. Possible
In this
serial
one,
killer.
it is the
two
fact
giants.
That I'm a fan of
Kinda
fucking
fucked up.
Lovecraft. It is.
Same here.
It's maybe because I want it to be, even though in the real world I absolutely do not want this to
You know, it's
exist.
terrifying.
Yeah, a cult that invokes
yeah,
an
not
altar
good.
to an ancient dark god, as I've mentioned before.
Well,
yeah.
there's a local one.
Yeah, there is a local one.
There's
We've seen
there's
it.
a local altar.
And these things show up because you bid them to.
Yeah.
But maybe they didn't have the strength, the panache, the fucking wherewithal of the old-timey fucking conjurers. Maybe they could bring these things forth and then control the whole area for a while. But these guys are just
Or-
fucking dirtbag kid killers, and they just call them forth for a few minutes every
Or,
8
you know,
years.
maybe also too, what could be happening? We could be doing with like dueling, like almost like a wizard battle, where you got these assholes trying to invoke this thing, but then you got the other fucking magicians that are like, oh no, sir, you don't get to fuck around. And then it's like Alan Moore and shit. Who was the guy who was
Oh,
always
yeah,
dueling
dude who
with?
wrote Happy.
Oh shit,
fuck's
I'm an
his name?
asshole.
I know what you're talking
God,
about.
I
hold on.
literally want to say Guy Gardner, and I know that's a fucking Green
the
Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Oh, what's his fucking name?
Hold on a second. Hold on, because this is gonna drive me fucking
The
nuts.
Googling.
Alan Moore and
Grant Morris.
Grant Morrison.
Yes, Morrison.
Exactly. Actually, if you get a chance, check out
It
Grant
was a
Morrison.
G name.
Check out Grant Morrison's Chaos and Magic videos on YouTube. They're fucking dope. So if you got like a Grant Morrison, Alan Moore thing, or better yet, one of my favorite all-time wizard battles, if you have Aleister Crowley versus the fucking tag team, all right, of Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard trying to get the fucking Babylonian, the Alamantra working ritual, whatever the fuck you call it. What if this is some sort of battle where they're trying to bring these fucking things out, and then they just happen to appear, and maybe they're there for a short bit of time, and then the other magicians show up, and they're like, go back to whence you came, and they fucking seal the portal.
Why not?
It's like how Crowley,
why
Crowley
not?
brought the fucking Greys from some other fucking dimension.
No, he didn't.
We all believe in our own things, all right?
Oh, all right,
So,
Lamb.
all right,
man.
so I'm going to go with Wizard Battle.
All right, so you think it's a wizard battle, and it was ultimately won by the protectors of humanity because we're not Yovar infested.
We don't know, though. We could be currently infested with Yovar.
But
we don't know.
I
you
mean,
think we would know?
You got to test
Yes.
for it.
You got
You got to test for it.
our crops are doing all right.
You
We
are
don't
the
know
one
that.
saying you have to test for it.
Maybe you do. Maybe you don't.
So you think
Okay, remember, mark this date when Mark
Yovar
thinks
test.
testing is valid form.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
Yeah, test
so
for Yovar.
Okay, that's
All right.
fair.
When you get your house inspection. Inspector Yovar.
Yeah.
You got to call the Yovar inspectors.
Carbon monoxide, Yovar.
Remember when I had to get a fucking radon system?
I sure
Exactly.
do.
Radon's okay.
Now you got to get a fucking Yovar.
I know.
Yovar
Yovar readings are a little. They're in the yellow. So.
At this point, I would like to announce our new business of Yovar detection will come to your home.
Don't you think I won't turn that into a shirt? Because I will.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
yeah,
will.
Clearly. Yovar protection
There
is
it is.
essential for your family's well-being.
Yeah. All right.
You can't
I
let
like
those
it.
fuckers creep around your house or
Call
above.
1-800 remove the Yovar.
That is a long
that
phone
is-
number.
that is a
Yeah, it's way too
long-
long.
Yeah, the
Too many
remove
numbers.
was really quick.
Yeah, Yovar's short. You can find a way like,
Yeah.
no Yovar.
No, no.
Is that
Yovar.
enough?
like
I don't
that.
even know.
I like it.
That might be enough, actually. That might be a real phone number.
It could be.
I don't know.
There you have it. And thank y'all for joining us for the Cooking Out Podcast. There is no conclusion to this because there just can't be.
I think there's something to the old gods.
I think there is too.
I think
I do.
there are forces on this earth that way predate. Maybe in some psychic way, H.P. Lovecraft had access to it, but he wrote fucking fiction. I love it. It's brilliant. It's fiction.
Yeah.
But the idea that there are deities that way predate every single existing or even known about religion on earth is a point of fact. And Yovar may or may not have been part of it, but regardless, I don't understand why John and Joanne ever drove the A316 or whatever the fuck it was
Stay away.
more than once. The fuck is wrong with you guys?
I don't know. 8 years
Cut
apart.
it the fuck out. I
Dude,
know, 8
don't
years
do it, dude. Don't do
but
it.
you see giant... Dude, we saw fucking 7 deer look at us cross-eyed, and I still haven't been back to that place. That's you
have.
and me, Chris.
I have.
Did you go back? Did you stop? Did you look?
I absolutely go there. I go that way all the time on my bike.
Driving by is not relevant. I mean, do you stop?
We only stopped because there was a horde of deer. I'm not waiting for the horde of deer.
The horde of deer. That's the darkest
Come on,
way
wow.
to describe deer.
We all got put into Chris's sights tonight.
Yeah,
wow.
no doubt.
He's like, I'm done with you guys and your bullshit.
I'm just
Driving
saying,
road's fine.
if that night we had seen 2 50-foot fucking glowing demons and a fucking a baker's dozen of fucking
We would
cultists,
have booked.
so hard.
You would not have. You can't tell me we went back home, talked about it, and been like, we got to know what the deal is with these fucking things.
Yes, I know.
Exactly.
Wow.
But we're different. But even if we went right back,
Different.
because
How are we different?
because we're not
we
a
like
simple.
giant things.
What were they looking for? Love? Mark, help me out. Where were we in the beginning of this?
Trying to grow love,
There-
right?
You know, we weren't trying to just grow love and live our lives. Chris and I are always, we have already, first off, our love has grown, period.
Yeah.
Secondly, we're just trying to figure out weird shit and make it happen to the max.
All right.
So what we
There it
do
is.
and what John and Joanne do are 2 different fucking things.
There it is. All right. Thank you also very much for joining us.
Grow
for the
love,
Kryptonite
damn it.
Podcast. Grow love. Watch out for Yovar. Get your inspections done. 1-800-NO-YOVAR, right? There it is.
might-
Boom.
it might be enough.
Howler Space, speaking of the old gods, howlerspace.com. Get yourself some merch. Do we have any old god merch? We don't.
No, we will.
We should.
Clearly,
We have to.
We're going to design it. And it's going to be a white T-shirt. It's going to be like a
Yeah,
shitty
we got
old,
to.
like, Exterminators T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the old gods,
Oh,
check
man.
out Lovecraft Country on HBO Max or on HBO. It's fucking dope. It's
Haven't
a great
seen it
show.
yet,
I just started
but-
watching it. It's fucking so good. Yes, Howler Space, Lovecraft Country, Patreon.com/Kryptonaut Podcast. The Instas and the Twitters and the Facebooks. Find us all there. That's it for everything. Links will be in the description of the podcast. Check it out there. Hit us up on the socials, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Goodbye.
Yovar.
Yeah. It is black metal as the Dickens.
Yovar. It does sound black metal as fuck.
It does.
Yeah.
Tiny Bullets Kill.
Yeah. Tiny Bullets
Yovar
Kill.
by Tiny Bullets Kill. Premiere album.
Nice.
Oh, fuck off.
All right, we'll be talking to you.
Fuckity Dickens.